welcome to a bonus edition of Cracking the Cryptic, where the eagle-eyed amongst you will realise that I am not in my usual location. Indeed, I don't have my usual microphone either today, so I apologise if you would prefer the background with the guitar over my shoulder and the somewhat less blue sky, and also if you would prefer my voice quality to be a little better. But I'm on the laptop. I'm on a short holiday at the moment. Some of you, I think, have realised that by the fact that the last few videos that have gone out at 8:30 and featured sort of Sudoku solving have been pre-recorded to allow me to have a little break. I hope that's okay. I will be back live soon, and indeed, because the crossword videos that they happen on Fridays, I am live today from my holiday, so I'm going to try and solve today's Times Cryptic crossword for you as usual. And the snitch rating for this one is moderately hard, but without being monstrous. Let's have a quick look at the... oh, goodness, actually. Now, I think PNMCG might be a real time. That might be Colin Thomas. I'm not sure. Verlaine's definitely real, Matthew Marcus. Last year's Times Crossword Championship winner. Mystigris is real. Aphis 99 is Andrew Fisher, definitely real. But you can see Andrew Fisher's taking 10 minutes to solve this puzzle, and that means it's actually jolly hard, which is a little bit disturbing. Now, I have got my dictionary. My dictionary is available to me on my laptop, so hopefully we'll be good to go. And that, again, if you do enjoy these crossword videos, please do try and drop them a like or a kind comment. We'd really appreciate it. Yeah, that would it would help to teach the YouTube algorithm. These crossword videos really are worth the algorithm's attention, at least. Oh, and I haven't heard yet about yesterday's proposal, so I don't know. I can't provide any more light on whether the question went well for Michael. I do hope it did. Anyway, let's get cracking and have a look. It's the cryptic we want to do, isn't it? So let's have a look and we'll see what we can see. Hopefully that's in the right place on the screen. One across. Detectives on Roman force, thick and tenacious. Okay, well, let's just begin with a very quick recap of how cryptic crossword clues work. They all work a bit like mathematical equations. And there is, in any mathematical equation, I think this is true, there's always an equals sign, isn't there? That must be true. And it's the same in cryptic crossword clues. There will be part of the clue, it's normally at the start or the end, which is just a straightforward definition of the answer. So when we read this clue, it could be a 6-letter word which means detectives, or it could mean a 6-letter word that means tenacious or thick and tenacious. Now, how do we know, sort of which bit is the quick crossword definition? That's the trickier part. We don't, and it's like learning a new language. We have to learn the principles of cryptic crossword clue writing. Now, because one part of the clue is the definition, the quick crossword answer, if you like, or you can think of it, if you're watching this from the States, just like a New York Times crossword clue. The other part is wordplay, and that means it's going to provide the building blocks, and it might mean anagramming or moving short synonyms to and fro in order to create the answer. Now, can we think of any short synonyms for the word detectives? There are a few. A tech is a detective, TEC. Private eye, PI, private investigator, might be. DI, detective inspector. So maybe DIS. Then on a Roman word for force. That's going to be a Latin word, I would have thought, for force. Probably to mean thick and tenacious. Yeah, some of you would have got this because you'll know Latin much better than I do. What's force in Latin? I haven't got a clue. My brain keeps wanting to think of viz for some reason, but I don't know why. I don't know. Okay, let's try one down instead. Tiny hole. Again, always be prepared to attack each clue with your bank of short synonyms. So do we know any short synonyms for tiny hole? The one I thought of immediately was pore, as in a pore of your skin. That's a tiny hole, isn't it? In tank terminal, for that old canal boat. Oh, goodness, is this some old word for a canal boat? Probably is, but it's not immediately jumping into my brain. No, okay, so we're going to have to go on further. Let's try 4 across instead. Spotted smoked ham was in the van. That's a nice clue, isn't it? It's got a very nice sort of rhythm to it. Spotted smoked ham was in the van. In the van is one of those odd cryptic crossword phrases that I think must come from sort of olden army English. The vanguard was the front of the army. So if something was in the van, it was at the front. And so crossword setters sometimes use that to mean put something at the front of the answer. So perhaps the word was. Smoked ham could be an anagram of ham, or it could be gammon or something. Spotted? Maybe saw, S-A-W? Gosh, I don't know. I haven't got a clue. I'm not doing very well at all, am I? So much from Masterclass. Holiday brains obviously kicked in. Oh, I don't want to do... I mean, the problem with 9 across is you get very little or very few good checking letters. Let's try 22 down. What Rambler does? Roams. Having lost new. Okay, so we probably want a 6-letter word for what a Rambler does. And then we're going to lose from that 6-letter word an abbreviation for new. Now, not all words have abbreviations, but many do. And they have to be supported by the dictionary, and we'll find if we go to N in the dictionary there, new. I think it's there as oh yeah, it is. It's there as sort of small letters as well, so it doesn't have to be a capital, a new with a capital at the front to be abbreviated to N. So in the clue here you can see new is in lowercase. What Rambler does, having lost N. So a Rambler, what does a Rambler do? They roam over the countryside, they hike. Hiking, to give a waterproof boot, a galosher, a welly. Oh, welly, I quite like welly. But I can't add an N to welly to create a word. I'm trying to think of the 5-letter shoes and boots. I know sabot, that's not going to be right. Okay, that's not gone well. Let's try 22 across. New Zealand City. Okay, can I think of anything? Hobart. Auckland. With large aviation facility, that is in recession. Wellington? We've just had I've just had Welly. Have we got Wellington? No, Wellington's 10 letters, isn't it? That's not right. Large what's an aviation facility? Is that like an airport or a helipad or something? And that is probably IE for id est. In recession. So, and in recession probably means reverse. All of which is about as useful as a chocolate teapot, because I haven't got a clue what that is, other than thinking it's probably got L in it and maybe I and E somewhere. Gosh, okay, are we going to really have to resort to these long down answers perhaps? Let's have a look. Sit around drunk at 4, late out of theatre. Sit around drunk at 4, late out of theatre. Oh, goodness. There's a lot going on in that clue. Drunk is very commonly used to, say, anagram some letters. 4, the word 4, it could refer to the answer at 4 across. It could also, probably more likely, it refers to the Roman numeral for the number 4, which is IV. And then late out of theatre. What's that referring to? Is that a medical theatre? Or is that a theatre we go to see a play? I haven't got a clue. Wow. Okay. Okay, let's try. I'm just going to jump around now and see if I can find something I can actually solve. Fancy something strong to drink quickly. Fancy something strong to drink quickly. That middle letter, a middle word is probably A, isn't it? Drink quickly. Glugger. Oh, I don't know. Oh, what's wrong with my brain? Oh no. Divine young woman in towel commercial. That's a good. That feels like it's a hidden, but I can't. Welco is not a divine young woman. Divine young woman nymph. Oh, okay. I've got one. At last. Okay. Divine young woman in towel commercial. So this is, let's read it as a mathematical equation. Divine young woman is the definition, so we need a 5-letter word for a divine young woman. In is doing the duty of an equal sign. It's saying we can create a word for a divine young woman in the following way. We need a 3-letter word for towel, and then a short word for a commercial. Now, the short word for a commercial, I'm sure we can all get that. That's going to be ad, as in an advertisement. So, how are we going to add something to the start of this to give a divine young woman? You might be, if you're familiar with the Greek myths, you might be familiar with a dryad. And a dryad is is a nymph of some sort, I think. Let's have a look. A wood nymph, in fact, from the Greek myths. So at least we've got an answer. Let's have a look at 11 across. Last of runners, flash past, don't give up. Okay. So again, let's. I haven't got this one, but I think I understand how it works. Here, that long hyphen thing is doing the duty of the equal sign. So we need a phrase that means don't give up. Last of runners, what could that mean? It could be the person who came last in a race, but there are very few synonyms for that. So it probably actually refers to the last letter of the word runners, which is S. And then flash past is going to be something like fly by or something like that. If something flashes past, it flies by, doesn't it? So it's going to be something by, like stand by, don't give up, stick by. Yeah, okay, if you stick by something, you don't give up on it. And a tick, if you said somebody just a tick, it would be in just an instant, wouldn't it? Which is the same as just a flash. A moment in time is a flash. So stick by is going to be right there. And that gives us a K in 7 down. So fancy something strong to drink quickly. Take two. Like a shot. Yeah, okay. So if you like a shot of alcohol, it's going to be something strong to drink. So if you fancy something strong, you enjoy a shot, you like a shot, and to drink quickly. Fancy something strong to drink indeed is much more precise, isn't it? And then quickly is a phrase which means like a shot, or like a shot, it means quickly. So let's try 16 now. High street business, can it work? High street business, can it work? That's hard. Shop. Oh, that's brilliant. Oh my goodness, that is a brilliant clue. Wow. Okay, I only got this because I was trying to think high street business. What does that mean? It's a shop, isn't it? But the answer is in fact shop. Now, if you can't work out why, I don't blame you. It's not that easy. But the beautiful thing about this is some of you, especially if you have been doing these crosswords for a while, might be familiar with a short synonym for the word work. Well, actually, one short synonym is go, but that's not what's important here. The one that comes up is a musical work, is often described as being an opus. An opus, believe it or not, can be abbreviated to OP. It doesn't just mean overpowered, like Protoss. It also means opus. Let's have a look. Opus. There we go. OP. Opus. Now, what on earth then? How on earth is SH giving can it? Well, if you tell somebody to can it, you're telling them to shut up or to shh, aren't you? So that's how it works. Can it work is literally shh up, which is brilliant. That is a beautiful clue. 17 down. Sphinx-like features Oscar saw cut in step. Ooh. Okay, whenever you see step, it might mean a ballet step. Is that like a P-A-S or something? Sphinx-like features. Something pause? Oscar. Oscar's probably going to be the letter O. And that's from the international radio alphabet. If somebody says Oscar on the radio, it means O. So, sort of alpha, beta. What's C? Should know that. My brain will probably think of it in a minute. Sphinx-like features. Oscar saw cut in step. Yes, I don't know what this is, but I quite like the idea that this has pa, as in pad. I just think PAS is some sort of ballet step. That's all I can say. So I want to put O. Maybe the O goes there. Actually, no, I don't know. Actually, I'm not sure. Should we see if we can get 20? 20th century composers. Babel developed. Technique all right. Well, is this Bella Bartok or something like that? Yeah, and the only way I've got that is by I was trying to think of a short synonym for all right, and I thought okay, and then I thought, well, if I put the okay at the end, that feels right, doesn't it? So I think the way it works is Babel developed is saying develop the letters of the word Babel or anagram. That would give us Bella. B. A technique is an art. There's an art to doing something. There's a technique to doing it. And then okay, and we get Bella Bartok. So what is this? Poker face or something? Sphinx-like features. I mean, is it? No. What is it? Why is it? Pucker pies. It's not pucker pies. In fact, I would really like it if it was pucker pies, but I don't think it is. Let's try 23. Celebration instead of defeat. A celebration instead of defeat. A celebration is a gala, a party, a do maybe? So maybe do something to mean defeat, to do over, to do down, to do... not sure. I'm not getting that one either, are we? Should we try 18 down? Round of applause, a little generous. Okay, this is easier. And again, all we're trying to do, not all we're trying to do, but one way to attack the clues is to think of short synonyms for things. So when I saw a round of applause here, I was trying to think of short synonym. And if you give somebody a round of applause, you give them a hand, don't you? So if this clue did begin with hand, could we solve it? We know the other side of the clue is going to be the definition. So that's the word generous. Generous, 8 letters beginning with hand. Handsome. Handsome is generous, and a little of something is some of it. So hand, some gives us handsome, and do is supported, isn't it? Let's try 24. Female dressing a stone lighter. Female dressing a stone lighter. That's a very good clue again. I was thinking of taper, like as in something that lights something. But I don't understand why that would be right. Female dressing a stone. Stone can be abbreviated to ST. So I sort of want this to be, if I could think of a 2-letter female and put AST in the middle to give a lighter, a word for a lighter. No, got pasty. Pasty I'm thinking of, pucker pies. No, I don't think that's right. Let's try 26. Adult works at aerobics, desperately wanting shaped abs. What a brilliant clue again. Okay, I think I've got this, but I don't understand why it's right. Yeah, I have got it now. Okay. And this is a great example of a clue which is easy if you cut it in the correct place. So if I cut this, if I say the equal sign in this clue is after the word works, suddenly it becomes easier. So adult works is the definition. Then at aerobics desperately is saying treat the letters of at aerobics, there are 10 of them, in a desperate way. Anagram them, there are 10 of those letters. And those 10 letters are going to want for, so they're lacking, an anagram of abs because the abs are shaped. So we take A, B and S out of at aerobics, anagram it all, and I think we can get erotica, adult works. Not too difficult once we can read the clue correctly. Let's try that one. Little Scottish collars its on reflection. Little Scottish collars. Little Scottish. I want this to be Nessie for some reason. Little weenie or something. Scottish collars its. Golly, I don't know. Scottish. Celtic? I'm not sure. So, okay, poker face still fits there. Sphinx. It's not, is it poker face? Why? Sphinx-like features. Maybe if you've got sphinx-like features, you're unreadable, so you do have a poker face. Oscar would be this. Saw. Cut in. Oh, pace could be step, couldn't it? Saw. Cut. Why? Sphinx-like features. Oscar. O. Saw. Kerf. Needs to be most of a word that means saw, I think. Curve. And that is all parcelled up in a word for a step, which is a pace. Poker face. Do for would be to kill. If something is for something, it's instead of it. So that do for is going to be correct there. So poker face I think is right, but I don't understand this curve reference. What am I missing there? Oscar. So, I know I'm being dense. I'm sorry. Kerfuffle is all I can think of. Oh well, I'm definitely not changing that, am I? There's no way that's anything else. So okay, let's try and use the dictionary to support this then. So curve. Oh, it's a word. A cut. A groove made by a saw. Good grief. So literally a saw cut. So it's not a word that means saw, cut, i.e. to take the last letter off. Saw cut is literally defining the word curve, which I didn't know. These crosswords are so cool because, like, there really can't be many four-letter words I haven't at some point come across in the whole history of me doing crosswords, and yet there's one. 24 down. Oh, female dressing. As female is going to be F. Dressing a stone lighter. Flint? Yeah, that's right, isn't it? A lint is a dressing. It's a medical dressing. So it's F for female, lint for dressing, and the definition is a stone lighter. Now, literally, a flint is a stone that you use to, or one might use. I mean, let's be clear. If I was out camping, God forbid, and was given a flint, I would have absolutely no idea what to do with it, and I would certainly not be able to make it light anything, although I would understand that there was probably a practical way to do it. It would be beyond me. Anyway, let's go to this one. Little Scottish collars, it's on reflection. Little Scottish. I want that to be wee for little Scottish. Yeah, I mean, wee is a Scottish word, isn't it? It's a wee timorous beastie. So wee is going to be little Scottish. That's going to collar. Oh, Westie. So a Westie is like a West Highland Terrier or something. So it's wee, W-E-E, little Scottish, collaring, surrounding, the word it's reflected, so sent backwards, to give Westie, and the whole thing is the definition. It's an and-lit clue. So when I said before that all clues could be read as mathematical equations, this is sort of an exception to that rule. The whole clue is the definition, and the whole clue is the wordplay. So Westie, let's look up Westie. I think it's a West Highland Terrier. Let's see. There, it is a West Highland Terrier. Westie. There we go. So we've done the southeast corner now, which feels a small triumph given where we were. Let's try this one. Cannonball, shortly due to land. Cannonball, shortly due to land. I mean, it's a great clue. It's a great clue because it sort of conjures an image, in my mind at least, but I don't know. I wanted it to be an anagram of due to land when I first read it, but I don't think there's an indication of that. It always has to tell you that there are letters to be anagrammed, and the word shortly, I don't think, does enough heavy lifting to say anagram the letters. It could indicate a shortening of a word, sure, if something is shortly. But it doesn't say scramble, does it, or mix? Cannonball, rebound. Cannonball. I don't know. I don't know what that is. Have we looked at 6 down? No. Conservative begins hard times. Conservative can be abbreviated to C. The other thing you see for conservative is Tory, but that doesn't look like it's working here. Conservative, right. Conservative, my phone's buzzing. I'll try not to look at that. Conservative begins hard times. I'm not sure. Okay, let's go back to that one again. Oh, this was us speckled. If something is spotted, it's speckled. Why is that right? Smoked ham was in the van. Okay, it is speckled, isn't it? Now, this is something at the very edge of my consciousness, but I think I've heard the word speck. Isn't speck a bit like spam? It's one of those weird old things that you had during the war. I might be wrong about that, but let's say that was true, and speck could define smoked ham. was in the van, if you were leading, you led, didn't you? So led would be perfect there for was in the van. So I think this is speckled. Now I won't look it up yet, just in case it's, unless I can sort of prove these checking letters. So what's this? Past participle? No, it's not past participle. Something like that though. Sit around. Drunk at 4. Late out of theatre. Past. Out of theatre. Past. Post-operative. Post-operative is what that's going to be. I don't understand it yet, but let's work out why. Post-operative is after you've been in a medical theatre. So if you sit, you pose, as in if you're a model and you sit for somebody, you would pose. So how's that working? Sit around. Drunk. Drunk is a toper, is it? God, this is very hard. Yeah, somebody who topes, I think, is a drunkard. So I think a drunk is a toper. So I think the way this breaks down is drunk is toper, at is literally the word at, A-T, 4 is IV for the Roman numeral, the number 4, and that's all put in a word for sit, which is pose, and that gives late out of theatre, post-operative, meaning latterly out of the theatre, recently out of the theatre. And let's go back to this. Conservative begins. Hard times. Does this mean times then? Begins. I want this to end like this and to mean times. That's not right, is it? Conservative begins. Maybe it's a 5-letter word for begins and it means hard times. If you fall on hard times, you fall on I don't know. It's going to. But one thing to be aware of is if you are familiar with the works of Dickens, that is almost certainly not going to help you in this clue. I'll probably be proved wrong, but the constructor is trying to make you think of Dickens and the book Hard Times, and probably the conservative who appeared in the book Hard Times. That is not going to be what's going on here. We have to ignore the surface reading. That would be my best advice. It is almost always irrelevant. Have we looked at 10? Oh, I haven't looked at this. Panic spread, beginning in economy, a turbulent flight. Panic spread, beginning in economy, a turbulent. Okay. Well, I can construct a 13-letter anagram here. So panic spread is 11 letters. The beginning in economy is the beginning of the word economy. That is E. And then this A here, what's that doing there? The only reason that's there is to be part of the anagram fodder, because then when we treat panic spread E and A in a turbulent manner, we might mix them up, all to give flight ? Flight. Flight could be a staircase, or it could be what about something like disappearance? I like that. I think it looks like it's got about the right anagram fodder. If a criminal took flight, they would disappear. So I quite like that. I think disappearance is going to be right. Let's try 13 across again. Cannonball, shortly due to land. Cannonball shoot shortly due to land. A cannonball is I don't know, I was drinking snowball for something. I don't think it's that. I don't know. Let's try 14 across. Ship leaves once loaded. It's another beautiful surface. Ship leaves once. T-clipper or something. Is it? It probably is T-clipper. It's sort of a cryptic definition. That's beautiful. So I think a T-clipper was an old type of ship that carried tea. So if you read this clue carefully, it is just a cryptic definition because tea leaves were once loaded onto this type of ship. Ship's leaves once loaded. Whereas the constructor is trying to conjure up an image of a ship departing once it's been loaded. Whereas the way it's meant to be read, in order to understand it and know why the answer is T-clipper, is it's a ship that used to have, in the old days, leaves loaded onto it. It's brilliant. This is a very clever puzzle. Let's try 15 down. A bit of skin, cook sliced off, sounds attractive. A bit of skin, cook sliced off, sounds attractive. I don't know what this is. A bit of skin. What's a bit of skin? Could be just a piece of the word skin. It could be S. So AS, cook sliced. It's good to be saying anagram the word sliced. But what's off doing then? I don't know. Let's try 19 in case we can get it. Only 2/3 of cutlery. Put back, oh dear. Well, okay, so we must be looking for a 6-letter word for cutlery, and we're going to take 2/3 of the word. So, forks, spoons, knives. Let's try. Oops, yeah. So, spoons is 6 letters. Take 2/3 of it, you get SPOO. Put that backwards, because it tells us to, and you get the word oops, which means, oh dear. Oh, goodness. Oh, canaletto? No. I'm thinking of somebody who paints canal boats rather than actually defining a canal boat. Tiny hole in tank terminal for that. Yeah. Terminal for that. Could that be saying the terminal letter, the last letter of the word that? Because that would give us a T, and then O could be old. So a tiny hole in tank, vat. Tank of something is a vat of it. So if that was all true, I'd need... Oh, I have heard of vaporetto. That's the answer. Vaporetto. I don't believe it. I thought of a tiny hole as being a pore straight away. I just didn't think of... I'm just not familiar enough with words like vaporetto. But once I say it, I sort of think, yeah, okay, that I think I have heard of that before. And so it must be a type of canal boat, presumably Venetian. Am I confident enough to look it up? I think no, I'm not. I think that we'll be justified there, though. Let's try one across. Detectives. Oh, tenacious. Oh, is this my Roman force? My Viz idea doesn't look so bad if I put it the other way round. Tenacious. If you're tenacious, you are. Is it possible that begins like that? I'm not even sure if force in Latin is vis or that. It might be either. Let's have a look at this one. Venerable Hindu, perhaps, crawled over India. Well, that's a beautiful clue. But I've referred before to my list of words I made when I was young that cropped up in crosswords, which I didn't know before I came across them in the crossword, and I wanted to try and build them into my vocabulary. And one of those words was the word Swami, which is some sort of venerated Hindu. And perhaps crawled. Well, if you perform the crawl in the swimming pool, what are you doing? You're swimming. So in the past tense, you swam. So swam goes over the international abbreviation. You'd see it on car, plates on cars, I for India, to give Swami. So that must be right. So vis, I think, must be the Latin word for force. Then we need detective, CID. Is that going to be viscid? Is that a word? Thick and tenacious? Something's viscous. That might be the same root. CID for detectives, I quite like. There's so many of these answers I'm not absolutely convinced by, but I sort of feel are probably correct. Let's try 9 across. So we didn't look at this. Notice young man secures vehicle after parking. A notice is a placard, so that's going to be right, I think. Young man, lad, is securing a vehicle. So lad here has secured, surrounded the word car. That's a vehicle. And that all goes after P for parking to give placard, which is a notice. So that's going to be right. So vaporetto is looking ever more likely. Indian side, isn't this that cucumbery dish? Writer or something. How do you spell it? Is it like that? It's one of those words I can never spell. if you said it's R 5 letters, I would get the A and the I the wrong way round. But Swami, I think I'm fairly confident about. So why is this right? Cheers, that would be thanks, tar. You say tar, you're saying thank you, cheers. On attack, a raid that lacks depth. D can be abbreviation for depth. Let's look at that. It's a slightly more unusual one, actually. It doesn't come up very often, but I think it must be what's intended here. Depth, there it is. So we've got raid for attack without lacking its D for depth, added to tar for cheers to give rater. Actually, I'm probably saying wrong, but that gives us cucumber. I wasn't far away. And then, what's that going to be? Is it? No. You see, I should be able to get this without recourse to the clue, because there must only be one word that fits this pattern. And I'm not getting it, so I'm going to have to look. Wonky line cut by fine horse, unsuited to ploughing. Inarable or something? That's right. That's a vicious word. I mean, that is a vicious word. Inarable. How have I got? Oh, I got it from thinking that it fitted the pattern. If you ask me, is the word inarable a word? I wouldn't. Would I play it in Scrabble? If I had a 7-letter, and I could tag it onto the end. Only in desperation would I play inarable. But how does it work? Wonky line is saying anagram the word line, and that is cut by, so inside it has a fine horse. Well, an Arab is a fine horse, and then unsuited to ploughing is the definition. So we have justified all of that. So I'm going to risk all of it. So let's go and try and viscid. There it is. Semi-fluid, sticky, glutinous, viscous. From the Latin viscidus. Okay, so was I right then? Vis must be, there it is, it's right there. Force or power, Latin root. I mean, it's so hard, but it's not hard if you do Latin at school. That must be probably, one of the first words and you'll just be you'll find that clue so easy. Vaporetto, there it is, a motorboat that serves as a water bus in Venice. That's lovely memories. I've been to Venice twice. Once I went there, and St. Mark's Square flooded. And when I say flooded, I don't mean slightly flooded. I mean it was in 2 foot of water. It was really, really peculiar. But anyway, it was the closest I ever got to feeling like James Bond was getting a speedboat from the airport to Venice. That was very cool. I digress. What is this? We must have. Oh no! This is the New Zealand city. Oh goodness, because there's going to be some weird ones like, I don't even know. I don't even want to guess. Oh, I was now thinking of kookaburras. It's nothing to do with that. But there is one that's called something like, I want to say it begins with W. Oh, I don't know actually. Large. This is a terrifying answer, because everything flows from this in the bottom, in the southwest corner. What was this one? Oh, this sounds attractive. Appeals or something. Oh, a bit of skin. Cook sliced off. Sounds attractive. Don't know. Let's try 25 then. Blood vessel, vein, opened by doctor. 1. Showing concern for the motorist. 1 showing concern for the motorist. What is that? Oh, I really like vein there. Opened by doctor. Doctor is one of these difficult words in crosswords in that it has so many abbreviations. GP, MD, MO. Doctor 1. I mean, it's also sort of, I don't know. It must be vein, mustn't it? It must be. If it's vein, that's a V. This ends in. There's either an E here or an E here. Concern for the motorist is... I don't know. Oh, no. It's drive. Oh, that's so annoying. Okay. When the clue says opened by, I immediately think, okay, we open up the word vein, and into the middle of it we slot Doctor 1. So I'm trying to think of how that might work. That is not what this is saying. It's saying that we should have the word vein and open, rather than opening it as in including within it something, we're literally going to open it up with the prefix of DR for doctor and 1, which is the Roman numeral for the number 1. That gives drive-in, and a concern for the motorist as a business catering for a motorist would be a drive-in, as in a drive-in theatre. Don't really get those in the UK. The weather's not very good, but probably could get it where I am at the moment. Anyway, let's try 22. Oh, what the Rambler does. The waterproof boot is the... What is that? What Rambler does? Wades? No. Wanders. Oh, wader. Okay. What Rambler does? Wander, not plural, wanders, wander. Loses N to give wader the waterproof boot. What is this word? I mean, who knows? 27. Roll touching substance that's dubious. Roll touching substance that's dubious. Oh no, this is bad news. We've got to get 21 down. Monster logically following that capsized ship. Monster logically following. Ergo? Ogress, that's right. Logically following is ergo, so that is the word ergo is capsized. One of the few Latin words I do know. Ship is SS. That comes up a lot. And I think, what is it? Is it steamship or something? I'm not actually sure. But SS for ship. Steamship, there it is a very common. You know, the SS King Welly, etc. This is getting even more stupid. Sorry to the inhabitants of wherever this is, but this is not a normal pattern of letters. New Zealand city with large aviation facility that is in recession. What on earth? Okay, and we go back here. Roll. Why do I want that to be roster? Touching substance that's dubious. Roll. Register. The gist of something. Yeah, I think that's right, actually. So the definition here is roll, and a roll is a register. If you take roll, you take a register of people. Touching. If something is touching something, it's as regards it. It's re-it, R-E. Substance of something is the gist of it. And something that, if you were to have an exclamation when speaking to mean that's a dubious thing I just heard you say, you might go, or what, or lol, or something. But ER is what's being get. So is this appealing then? Attractive is appealing. It must be. Peeling is what your skin does sometimes. It's not going to help with this funny one across, but a bit of skin, cook, sliced off. Is that, is it peeling, a bit of skin? Peeling. I think, I might be wrong about this, I think sounds is trying to do a homophone duty. It's saying that appealing, A and then the word P-E-E-L-I-N-G, appealing of something would be some skin that a cook might slice off a piece of meat or something. So, and if that's right, that would sound the same as appealing, spelt like this, which means attractive. Oh dear. With could be W. Large aviation facility. That is in recession. Or that hangar? A hangar would be a large aviation facility. Now this is a question. Is a hangar like an aircraft hangar? Is it AR at the end or ER? I never get this right. I think it's AR, isn't it? And a hangar that you hang your clothes on, I think, is ER. If that's right, wanger. And then that is id est, i.e. And that would be reversed, and that might be a word. The wangerai. That is so utterly ludicrous. So is there a New Zealand city called that? So with W, let's just show you that. So with, there it is. Large aviation facility, a hangar. And EI reversed. Who knows? It could be. And then we've only got two left, but I'm not sure about Wangarai. Let's look at the cannonball one again. Cannonball shortly due to land. Shorthand would fit, but it's not right. Cannonball. Something cannonballs. It sort of bounces all over the place, doesn't it? It shoots. Shortly due to land. Cannonball. This is annoying because I'm sure lots of you are shouting at me here. Shortly due to land. Shortly, soon. Due to land. Expected. Due to land. Low. Slow something. Slow. Cannonball. Don't know. I'm going to have to get this one. Conservative begins. Hard times. Times. This must mean times, or no, could it mean hard times? 5-letter word for begins. Probably beginning with L or H or R even. Begins. Lifts or something. Clifts. Hard times. Oh dear. This is not good. Can we use... It's not a pangram, this, is it? I haven't seen any Qs or really unusual letters. I've seen some very unusual words. Conservative. Begins. Well, we're going to have to do an alphabet trawl, aren't we, on this letter that the cursor's on at the moment. Unless, if it was begins and then this was an H, then this is probably an S. Can we get the one across if we think that this is S? That looks almost worse, doesn't it? Stop, slow. Oh, shortly due to land something wood? Southward or something? Shortly due to land. If you're shortly due to land, you're low down. You're over. But land, I want to put land at the end for some reason. But there wouldn't be land in the clue and then land at the end of the answer. Cannonball. What on earth? Okay, let's go back here then. Conservative, C. Begins. So, probably, I think, this ends in S. We need a 4-letter word for begin. Blank I, blank blank. If we can get it, we're good, aren't we? To begin is to open. It is to commence. It is to start. It is to fire up. It is to... oh, come on, ignite. Light. Begins. Birth. There's a lot of things that would work. Beginning with H. Don't like that. Unless I can do it the other way around. If that was right, hard times. Hard times are... If you're in a state of hard times, you're in penury. You're... Hard times. You're in a crisis. Oh, crises. Rises. Yeah, okay. Crises. That's okay, isn't it? If something rises, it begins. I mean, it's not easy. So what is that then? Stone hand? Cannonball. Shortly due to land. What? Cannonball. Is there any chance I've got any of these other crossing ones wrong? Probably not. So it is just going to be a case. It's probably a 5-letter. It looks like it's stones, or it's a 5-letter word followed by a 4-letter word. So if we can just get this first part, we'll be good. Cannonball. Shortly due. Due to. If something is due to something, it's because of it. Cause. Oh, sorry. Unless it's the name of a country, but that would put land at the end of it. I was thinking land might define a country, but I don't think I can think of any. I mean, Scotland, it's not right, but Swaziland. Cannonball. A cannonball is a massive stone or metal, aren't the cannonballs made of metal, aren't they? Cannonball. Shortly. It couldn't begin that, could it? Soon. Due to land. ETA, estimated time of arrival. Shortly due to. I'm grasping at straws here. Shortly due to land. If you're shortly due to land, you're sort of earthbound. You are. I suppose you needn't be necessarily going to be landing on Earth, but that's most likely where you would be. Cannonball. What about if you do a bomb in the swimming pool, isn't that called a cannonball? So could this be something to do with swimming and doing a bomb in the pool? Cannonball. Oh no, come on, Simon. What's this letter? Maybe that would be a different way of thinking about it. C, D, E, F, G. No, I don't like G. H, I, J, K. K there. It would be very definitive, wouldn't it? L there. Don't like either K or L. No. I like N. Stone something. If it wasn't N, wouldn't it be P? R. R, let's have a quick think about that. Cannonball. No, I don't really like that either. S, no. T, U, V, W, X, Y, and Z, or Z. That hasn't done me any favours, has it? Scorecard. Why is the answer scorecard? Shortly due to land. I don't know. Scorecard would fit. Shortly due to land. Why on earth is a cannonball a scorecard? And how does that work with the verb? I don't think scorecard is right. It's just a word I've thought of that would fit. Golly. C, D, E, F, G. Let's try something. I'll just try and quickly give it a couple more minutes of trying to think about. It's making me think of shop steward, which is not helping. H, I, J, K, L. Slope hand. Shortly due to land. Slow, no, I don't like L there. M, N. Cannonball. P. It's not making me think of anything. T. I don't know. That's also not making me think of anything. V, W? Can't be, can it? No, I don't like that either. Oh. So what is this last bit of it then? Is it an R here, or could it be an I? Or even an L? Or an N? Shortly due to. Cannonball. Shortly. Due to land. Oh, Simon, I'm so sorry about this. I can feel you all shouting at me from the future. I still don't want to give up. I think has it been one I've had to give up on in the last year or something? I don't want this to be another. I could obviously just sit here until I get it. I'm just conscious that people will get very upset with me, especially as I've probably got that other one wrong as well, Wangarai. Cannonball shortly due to land. You cannonball. Yeah, it was like bomb incoming. The cannonball is shortly due to land. I mean, unless there is a genuinely odd word like soon. I don't think there is. Shortly due. To land. Sooner. I mean, then I've got no chance of getting it, I think. It's just not a word I know. Cannonball. Maybe there's a colloquial term or a sort of old army term for a cannonball that was called something like a stone band or something. Stone. What would it be? A cannonball could be a stone. I don't know. It's just okay. I'm going to give up on that. I'm going to look up a cannonball just to see whether it has any weird meanings. So, a ball to be shot by a cannon. A fast serve in tennis. Ooh. Something resembling this in appearance, weight or force, e.g., a fast serve in tennis. Golly, I don't know. I still don't know what it is. Oh, what is it? Score? Why is it scorecard still? I don't know. All right, in the interest of keeping the video down to some sort of length, we will use the dreadful ability to. What's going on? Is that working or not? I think that's working. The dreadful ability. Stonehand. I think I said Stonehand. What is that? Who sets the type in the chase? Well, it's not. Oh, shoreward. Soon. That's shoreward. If you're heading for shore, you're soon to land. Why? Cannonball. Shortly due to land. I haven't got a clue. Why is that right? Shortly due to land, you're heading shorewards. I get that. Why is cannonball shoreward? Maybe shoreward has a different meaning. I feel less bad actually because have I just looked up shoreward? No. What am I missing there? Was there a person or something called Cannonball Shoreward? I know that's stupid. I just don't understand it. Cannonball Shoreward. That would be funny. Well, let's see if this is right. Anyway, submit without leaderboard. A Wangarai being... Oh, Wangarai's right. I mean, that's really difficult. It's a really difficult puzzle. I don't understand 13 across still, I'm afraid. So I feel a little less bad about not being able to solve it. Wangaraise, brutal for the New Zealand city. Viscid Vaporetto. It's a brilliant puzzle. Oh, Spec. We never looked up Spec, did we? Let's have a look at Spec. Fat or bacon, blubber from a whale. And so it doesn't have the. I thought it had the sort of same genesis as Spam. Luncheon meat made from pork and spices, but maybe it's something slightly different. Was there anything else we were meant to look up? Kerf we looked up and didn't know that one before either. It's a great puzzle. Great puzzle. Anyway, now if the computer will allow it, I'll have a quick go at the quick cryptic in an effort to redeem myself. Let's get cracking with this. Come on, computer, keep working. Loud organ, fear, F-ear. Father with lawsuit gets tiny amount. A no, I don't know. Influential part abandoned by fine thespian factor without its F. Case for an embassy worker. Oh, that's attaché. Goodness me, I should have got that instantly. Terrible. Secret family group, Tordain. Clan, must be clandestine. I don't quite know why, but it is. No good chasing Henrietta terribly. Scary. That is an anagram. Scary. It is terrifying or something. Or oh no. I can't take that long on that. Working with team in agreement. On side, maybe. Is this faction or fraction? Giving tiny amounts. Oh, FR action is fraction. So why is this not terrifying? No, scary. It is completely. I don't know. I can't see it. Weapon can be expensive to acquire in video game. Oh, I wish I knew that instantly. I don't. Mostly deal with that's treasure, I think. Oh, could it be treasures? I'm not sure. Tread. Let's just see. Narcotic product extracted. That's reefer. Possible application for program meeting. Well, no idea. At college, just standing upright, I think. Day before even. Quiet compile purge. This is definitely of that sort of construction. Model University in New York, say. Model. I don't know. A clergyman beginning on right, always with purpose. That must be reverend. That's not helped me with any of the crossing. Is that shed? Probably. Book career for cleaner. Brush is a cleaner. B-rush. Break up when taking part in masquerade. Don't know. Night to go round abolishing king in comedy sketch. Skit is what I was thinking. Skirt. Yeah, that's tricky. Fabric. Khaki, presumably. Whoops, help if you can spell it. Like a tuned piano, worked some of the time, swallowing note. Tempt or something. Something like that, isn't it? Tempered, well-tempered clavier. So what's this one then? Weapon. Sidearm? Deer in sim. Goodness me, that's difficult. Meddle with untried arrangement. Meddle with. Oh, come on. Ah! Don't know. Desire what church will often support. No, I'm go. Charity, I don't know. Break up when taking part in masquerade. Take up. Disassemble? Dissemble, I think. Desire. What church will often support? I can't see it. This is terrible. Oh God, this is awful, isn't it? Oh, threatening. How could I not get that quickly? Terrible. Let's go here. Possible application for probe appointment. Statue, presumably. Model statue. Don't understand why. State for New York. So, and then what's this then? Meddle with. Intrude. And then we've got the church one. Desire. What church will often support? I've got a real, maybe disassemble is wrong. Desire. If you have a desire for something, you have a hunger for it. Church CE at the end. A spice or something? I don't know. What church will often support? Is it intrude is right, isn't it? Yeah, that must be right. Desire. What church will often support? Aspire. Oh gosh, that's awful. It's a great clue. It's just me being awful. Okay, so we've dumped our way through that in the most appalling manner. Holiday brain is definitely afoot. I apologise for that. That was terrible. But it'll have given many of you a chance to shout at me with glee at my overall and overarching stupidity, for which I apologise. But thank you very much for watching. The good news is that the upload speed where I am is so profoundly quick that even though this video will take a while to export, it shouldn't be up too much later than usual. So thank you very much for watching. Let us know if you enjoy these videos, and we'll be back later with another edition of Cracking the Cryptic.